Hello. How's everyone today? Hope everyone's having a great morning. Hope everybody's on, everybody can see us, hear us and everything. So hopefully some of the updates with Facebook have worked themselves out and everybody's able to see the video. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's a beautiful spring day. I think it's supposed to be 80 degrees here in Kansas. It's that funny time of year when it's spring and then all of a sudden it dips down and it's really cold again and we're shocked and then it goes back up again. So I think today is supposed to be a pretty amazing day. So today we're going to talk about dresses. Spring is the greatest time to wear dresses. I love simple dressing to where you can just get up in the morning, throw on one piece, throw on your sandals, and you're ready to go. So I think dresses you're able to achieve that with a dress. So we're going to talk about two patterns today. We're going to talk about the cityscapes. We had some amazing cityscapes coming in from Samantha. She is so great. When you give Samantha an idea or she already has an idea generating in her head, she just runs with it. She takes the Cityscapes dress and she makes 4 of them, 5 of them. And with all different fabrics, all different looks, changes the patterns. It's pretty amazing to see what she comes up with. So we're going to show you some of the pieces that she made today, and then we're also going to show you some Edgewater dresses that we've made last year that kind of go with the same theme that, that Samantha is doing with her cityscapes. So I'm going to start out with the Edgewater. So one of the great things I like to do with dresses, and that you're seeing in a lot of ready-to-wear, is you're seeing dresses that mix wovens with knits. And we did this last year when we put out the Edgewater dress. We mixed up wovens with knits. So woven with knit, which I think is a really fun thing to do. You can do that with using the same color, which I think is really nice and really simple and really clean. You can have your knit be the same color as your woven, or you can mix it up and use different colors and color block it, which is what we did with the Edgewater.
I hear you're faint, so you might,
oh,
I guess,
I need
be
to
louder.
I need to project. I need to project. Okay. With the Edgewater, let me tell you a little bit about the Edgewater pattern itself. It's a digital pattern, and it has a nice rounded neckline, short sleeves, and it's a midi length dress, midi to kind of ankle length depending on your height. It has your main panels, but then it also has the panels at the bottom. It has this larger rounded panel here, and then a smaller rounded panel at the other side with the same shapes in the back. And then something else you can do with the Edgewater is you can make a skirt. So this is the Edgewater skirt. So the same shapes, the same really fun rounded shapes at the side and at the bottom, but just a skirt. So you're using the same look, the same style. You're just making it into an elastic waist skirt. So you're just using 1-inch elastic at the waist, but otherwise the look is the same, the shape is the same. So one thing I wanted to point out about the Edgewater dress is this really amazing cotton that we used. It's a cotton poplin at the side here. It's really soft. It comes in these amazing vibrant colors, and then we've paired them with other vibrant colors on the top and on the side. And I just think that's really fun. Not only did we come out with a pattern last year for this Edgewater dress, but we also came out with a class. So we have a class that we came out with last year for So Confident, so you can learn everything you would want to know about making the dress. And then we also had a class that was everything you would need to know about making the skirt. So we had 2 separate classes last year for the Edgewater. One was the skirt, which we used a striped fabric, and then the dress we used these color block fabrics with the knit and the wovens. So if you're interested in knowing how to make this really fun dress, then there are classes that you can take for that.
Does the skirt come with the dress in the pattern?
Yes, so the pattern comes with the dress and the skirt together. You get both of them, and it's a digital pattern.
And then Sybil asked if we could see the Edgewater dress on a human. You can't right now, but if you go to the website, there are many photos with the dress on a human.
Right.
I tried to put it on. It was like 3 times too big for me. It's
Yes.
Erin's size.
Yes, Betsy tried to put it on this morning, and it was made for me. So it was a little big, actually.
It was a floor length
Ginormous.
situation.
Yeah, yes. So, but we do have quite a few pictures on the website, not only in like the class information, but also in the kit information. We have pictures online of what it looks like on a person, and the skirt too. So you can see what the striped skirt, or the skirt in general, looks like, and then the dress. So those are both online. And another great thing that we have with the Edgewater is we do have some kits available. So you can make this dress just like this, and we have a kit that has all these 3 different fabrics in it. And then we also have some other colorways as well. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the show, but you can really create this dress. You can create a black and white one, a pink version, a green version. So we have some really good options for kits. Well, why don't I just show them now? Why don't we
Just show them now.
Let's just go for it. Okay.
Also, Susan said that she's made a dress for herself and 2 skirts for her daughter. So
Oh,
she's
nice.
into the Edgewater.
Nice. I think it's really fun. I like mixing of the knits and the wovens and being able to see the different shapes of this pattern because of that. I think that's really fun. So the kit comes in a pink version. So it has 3 different colors of pink. And then I love black and white. If you see me around the office, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably wearing something black and white. I love black and white. It's very easy to wear, to throw on in the morning. So this kit is a black and white combination. And then a green version. So 3 different colors of green. So these are really fun kits.
And then the teal.
And then
Like the
yes,
dress.
yes, just like the dress, we do have a kit for this. And you can get the kit for the dress, or you can get the kit for the skirt. So you can get the color block for the skirt as well.
Yeah. I just posted links to both in the comments.
Okay. All right, and so now on to Samantha's Cityscapes dresses. So I have one of her dresses on right now, which is really cute. It's a black French terry knit. You could do it in a regular jersey knit as well. But this is one of her creations that she did, actually based on this inspirational photo here. It's really fun.
And I think I have to say that it looks so good on you, and I don't think Samantha's going to get it back, because honestly, like, it is perfect for you.
I love it. It's fantastic. It's black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So shocker that this would be the one. I saw this and I was like, ooh, that's mine. No, I will send them back to you, Samantha.
Maybe.
I might get a couple wears out of it first.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to show you, she made 4 different Cityscapes dresses. And like I said, she takes that pattern and she rolls with it. She makes up multiple styles, she changes it, she tweaks it, and I think she does a really fun job. So I'm going to show you each one. So this is the first one. This is kind of what started the conversation about the Cityscapes with her, is we had this really great rib knit, this navy rib knit. And we wanted to create a Cityscapes using it. And so we found this beautiful coordinating lace knit to go with it. And this one is the Cityscapes just right from the package. This is directly from the pattern. She didn't really change much on this. So the Cityscapes has a nice rounded neckline. It has long sleeves. It has 2 darts, or 2 kind of sections of darts. It has these bust darts that go down into the waist, and then it has these darts that extend all the way down to the hemline. Can you see that?
Let me move back a little bit.
And so the darts at the hemline create this beautiful bell shape all the way down, which I think is really flattering. So this pattern is more fitted. It's going to be more fitted in through your bust, in through your waist, and then it does create that bell shape down to the hemline because of these darts here. And not only are the darts in the front, but the darts are in the back. And I like how she accentuated those lines with some top stitching. I think that that's really nice. It's just a very flattering shape. And then one thing she did change is she added a pocket, which I think is really nice. I know everybody loves the pockets. So she added a nice pocket right at the hip here, which I think is really flattering. I want you to see this lace. I think this is just beautiful. I love the idea of a sheer sleeve. I think that's really nice. I think it takes this darker color and you can extend that into, you know, multiple seasons. You can, because of this lace sleeve, just having that sheer sleeve.
Do you want to bring it closer so we can see the top stitching?
Sure.
There you go.
You see the top stitching?
Yeah.
I think this is beautiful. This is a medium weight rib knit, so it has some really great weight to it. Nice and stable and comfortable. I like having kind of a heavier kind of mid-weight knit for the Cityscapes. I think because it's so fitted and shaped, I think it is really flattering on the body when you have a weight, like a more weighted knit to it. I think it just kind of grazes the curves that way. I think that's really nice. So this is a beautiful version, just kind of straight out of the pattern with the added pockets. And I'll go over these changes in more detail in just a second, but I wanted to show you all the different versions that she made. So this is another version that she did with a blue knit for the top portion and the sleeves, and then a woven at the bottom. This beautiful crepe print. This is fantastic. So she left the darts at the bust down to the waist here, and then made a more A-line shape for the panel at the bottom. And of course, added the fun pockets. And she used the woven inside the pocket. And then she made a black one that's very similar, except she made that panel a little higher up. So more at the waistline, has a nice curve to it, the same kind of A-line shape at the bottom for the panel. And she used this beautiful little bug print. It's so cute.
So for both of these, are there any darts?
So for this one, there's not any darts here.
Okay.
But this one, she did have darts here.
Okay. And Laura, it is the Cityscapes dress, which is what we're talking about. Can you stand back so I can try to get a full length of you?
Sure.
Oh, that's as far as I can go.
You can scoot back a little bit more.
Yeah. There you go.
So on this one, she left out the darts at the bottom, so it creates a really fun A-line shape. So it's still fitted in through the bust and the waist, but then it comes out.
It's so flattering. It's such a pretty
I just love it.
shape. Okay, coming back in.
Coming back. All right, I'm going to give you a few more details on what Samantha did to each dress. So let's see how close we can get to some of these drawings. And if you just want to get the drawings, that's fine. Is that good? Okay. So I was just going to start with that navy rib knit. She didn't do any changes other than the fact that she did add the pocket, but she didn't, manipulate the darts, change the shape or anything like that to the navy. And one thing to point out, she used that pocket on every single dress, and she used the Stafford jean jacket pocket. So she used that same shape and just added it into the that detail into the side seam of each dress. And the second one is the black that I have on. So she lowered the neckline on both the front and the back just a little bit. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure you update your binding length, your neck binding length, because that is going to change. And then she didn't make these darts here at the bottom. She used these darts, the bust to the waistline darts, but she didn't use these darts here. So this is just fabric instead of, you know, creating that pegged look. And then she did extend it a little bit here at the bottom to create a nice curved hemline, which is really fun. Added that pocket. And then these silk patches, which are really beautiful. I might take a step back here, or take this step back so you can see these. So what she did is she took raw edged silk patches, rectangles, and stitched them onto the garment, and then did some hand stitching with this beautiful thread. I just think that is so interesting. And then left the tails. I love that.
Is it like a pearl cotton? I see it's thicker than
It looks like a pearl cotton to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And she did it not only here on the front, but she did it on the sleeve. And then she did it in the back. I don't know if you can see the back.
Yeah, I got a bend down.
But I think it's really fun. I love seeing the texture of the raw edge of the silk. And I love that she is, you know, just leaving these tails. I just love, it's simple. It is very simple, but it's that added detail that really elevate the look. Excuse me. So let's go back. Can you see the bottom ones, or should I lift it up?
Here, if I do that, we can.
Okay. So the next one is the black with the print. And again, she lowered the neckline. So she lowered the neckline on all of them except for that original navy. And so again, you would have to check your neck binding length. And then she shortened the sleeves. So on the black jersey, she shortened the sleeve to 14 inches finished. And then she also, in order to create that panel, it's approximately 12 inches down from the neckline. And so she found the spot where she wanted that panel to be. You would add 5/8 to your top or your back, like your front top or back top. And then you would also add 5/8 to your print panel there. And she, again, kind of made a nice kind of rounded shape down to the hemline and curved it into the center. And again, the pocket, use the pocket, the Stafford pocket. And then the blue jersey is very similar. She did shorten the sleeve to 12 inches, so that one's a little bit shorter. And then this panel is, the top portion is longer. So the panel hits a little bit lower. So it hits approximately 20 inches from your center front. And it has a nice curved shape in the front and in the back, which I think is really nice. And then again, there's, you know, no fabric here or no dart here. So this is just all fabric, and she created a nice curved shape. So these are more A-line dresses when she does this. You know, not only when she kept a dart or eliminated the darts, the lower panel, when you don't put that dart in, creates a nice A-line shape, kind of a fit and flare silhouette.
Margaret asked about not being able to see the text on those. We will take a photo of these and put them on the blog at some point today so that you can like see them up close and get all of the instructions. So it's coming.
Yeah.
Just give it a minute.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of interesting, and one thing I wanted, you know, you guys to be able to see is these illustrations, just to be able to see what you can do. I mean, this is 4 different examples of, you know, one pattern, and all the kind of simple tweaks that you can do to these patterns to change them up a little bit. You know, everything from shortening a sleeve to lowering a neckline, creating panels. There's just so much you can do with just one pattern. All right. Do we have any other questions?
Let me see.
Okay. Oh, Samantha, I'm definitely, I don't know. It's so soft.
Anne
Love
noted that she likes this shape because you can make it shorter without destroying the line. And I will say that for my fellow shorties out there, I have worn the Cityscapes, and I was concerned, you know, when I first put it on because it's a long dress, but it really does, you can shorten it to like just where you need it to be, and it still looks great. So don't be afraid of it. If you're a short person, I think you should still give it a shot.
Yes, we do have another example of a Cityscapes that a similar thing was done to it as this dress here. The darts were created in through the bust, but not the lower dart, but they just cut it off. And so it was a lot shorter. It was, you know, knee length or right under the knee. And so you can really play with that length depending on where you want it to hit and how tall you are. So this one happens to hit kind of more of a midi length, which is the pattern, but you can definitely adjust that for the style that you want or how tall you are.
How were the silk patches put on your black dress?
These just have some stitching here. A great tool that I would use is Fusey Web. So if you have Fusey Web, I would use that to fuse it to your fabric and then stitch it.
Do you know if they were cut on the bias?
That is a great question. Looking down on it, I cannot tell. But it does, there is some fraying here. I think cutting it on the bias would be a great idea because then you wouldn't maybe have as much fraying as she has here. But I think what she did still works. I think it looks great. I kind of like a little bit of fraying because the stitching is going to catch that or it's going to stop that at some point. And so I think that having that extra texture is really fun, but I think if you don't want that, then you could cut them on the bias.
Does the A-line happen just by eliminating the darts, or do you also have to add to the bottom sides?
She did add a little bit to the bottom. You wouldn't have to, but in order to create that kind of nice curved shape at the sides, she did add a little to the bottom hem.
Okay. And where did you get your fantastic necklace?
Oh, this necklace. I've had this forever. It was like a jewelry sale that actually Kathy and I went to along with Stephanie Valley, 15 years ago. Maybe even right after I started working, so maybe even longer than that. And it was just a woman who was selling jewelry, and we went to her house and we bought jewelry, and I've had it ever since. But definitely the style influence of Kathy and Stephanie who helped me pick it out.
What is the fabric of the dress that you are wearing?
This is a black French terry. We also have a black jersey, a bamboo jersey, which I think would be a great fabric for this dress, since we no longer have the black French terry. But if you wanted it in a different color, we definitely have some French terry. And it's very soft.
I see that someone is getting those green screen flashes that we've been plagued by for the last couple weeks. And I was just going to say that I normally watch this from home, and I was also getting those, and I restarted my computer, and that seemed to help. So maybe give it a shot.
Or any updates maybe that you have needed to do. That seems to be some other feedback that we've gotten, is if you need to update your phone or your browser or something, make sure you've done that as well.
And sometimes when you restart, it does it automatically, so that might help.
True. Yeah, when in doubt, always restart.
Exactly. Turn it off, turn it back on again.
Right, exactly.
I think that's all the questions we've got.
Okay.
Currently.
All right. Should we talk about some fabric?
Let's talk about some fabric.
Okay. Do you want to join me for some fabric?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There's nothing I like to talk about more than fabric.
All right. Put these away for now.
Can we start with this bee fabric
Yes.
that I love so much?
Yes. Yes. So that, if you remember, that's the combination here. So this bottom panel, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, and so normally I would not be like, oh, it's got insects on it. I'm into this fabric, but this is so cute. Well, I don't think think cute's the right word for it. I guess it's kind of, it's got like a whimsy to it because up close it almost looks as if it's like a paper cutout of a bee. Do you know what I mean?
I think, yeah, I agree with that, with the different colors and shapes and the way they used the dots and the, you know, the lines of it. I think that's really neat.
And I do love it with the black, but I think this green really makes it pop. So if you wanted a little more color in it, I think the green is really nice with it. And this is just a green jersey knit. And although you've got French terry, the other two that she made was combining the jersey with the woven, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, this one actually is the jersey. Yeah.
And we love to combine our wovens and knits, and we don't really do anything different when sewing. Like we don't change any sizes. I think it's mainly about getting like a similar weight. Would you agree with that?
That's what I try to do, is I make sure I have a similar weight, because then otherwise I think it might hang in the way that you don't like. So I think keeping in mind the weight is really important, but I don't normally change the size.
Yeah. And I think too, if you're putting something on the bottom of a jersey, you don't want it too heavy because you don't want it to pull. Right. That can be a tricky business.
I have had that experience. I did pick a jersey that was too heavy, contrasting with the linen I was using. It was actually a Frankie. And with those pleats in the back, it was just a tad too heavy and it weighted the garment down. So I think that these jerseys, these are not, you know, too heavy. These are definitely a better weight for this kind of project, and especially in comparison to these as well.
They've got a little more body to them. We tried to not get anything that would sag it out.
Right.
This, I think, is beautiful. This is a viscose. Both of these are from England, a company that we found in England, and actually so is that guy. And they do just the most interesting prints, and we see a lot of prints in our work, and theirs are really great. So we're happy that we found them. This again looks good with the green, but the red is pretty spectacular.
And what I love about this, it's kind of an orangey red. I think they called it scarlet. So it's a kind of it's an orange red, and it goes with so many of these. Like when I really pulled it out, it went with this one. It went with the floral. It went with the little bug guys. So I think it's that pop, and this color is everywhere right now. You're seeing it with like camel. You're seeing it with black, you're seeing it with green, you're seeing a lot of really fun combinations in the blue. I follow a really great Instagram account, and she's always color blocking things. So one day she'll do orange and blue, or she'll do like, you know, red and khaki or something. And it's really fun to see. But yeah, I've seen this combination a lot.
And I think the nice thing about combining fabric is that if you like a print, but you're afraid it's going to be too much, then you can put it with a solid and it kind of calms it down.
Right.
And at the same time, if you like a really bright color, but you don't want to wear like a head to toe bright red, the floral print is going to tame it down and make it a little less zhizhy.
Right. And it brings other colors in there too.
Exactly.
Which I think is nice.
But it is like, it pops out this orangey red perfectly.
Right.
Yeah. Now this guy, an astute observer noticed that this is the fabric that we used for the kits earlier this year.
Yes.
And she said she loved it so much.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. I'm gonna show you those garments then. So that's great. Let's get those out.
And if you may not be able to see it, but I guess we can pull those pants up close to the camera, but it does have this little tiny red pop in there, and that's why these two go together.
Right, exactly. When we were talking about these earlier, we were matching these prints, you know, the matching tank, matching pants, matching robe, everything was matching, which was stunning. Like, I loved that. But here's a new take on it. Wear it with this beautiful kind of red-orange sunset. You're good with those names. You tell me.
I think of a red-orange as like a tomato red, because it's got that like oranginess to it.
Kind of before you pick it off the vine,
a
kind
slightly
of thing.
unripe tomato.
There you go.
Or tomato soup, because tomato soup usually has the cream in it, so it's a little less. Red.
There you go.
I think of food.
Tomato
I think
soup.
of colors. I think of food.
So this is the Zane top. This is a digital pattern, and it's perfect with these pants. I think that's really fun. Yeah, Linda picked this out. But this is the Ikena pants. in that same blue print. Or here's the other edition. So here's the tank that we had as a part of that ensemble, but then I paired it with a Chicago jacket. So you can go with that blue tone and keep that look going, but do it with a solid. So I think that's really fun. This is a great spring jacket to throw on.
Yeah. But you can also, as Samantha did, put it with a jersey knit and use it as a skirt.
Right, exactly. It's a good weight for that.
Yep. And I love how she used it in the pockets. No one's really going to know that but you, but it's a nice little,
it's a nice secret.
It is. Here you go. Now we don't have that bright blue that she used, but we put it with this, is it night sky, ocean sky?
Night sea, I think.
Night sea.
Night sea,
Night
yes.
sea.
Yes.
This night sea blue, which is, it's like a gray blue.
It's a nice kind of slate blue is what I would say.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of color. I think it has a good pigment to it. I like it. And it looks great. Again, a lot of these are going to go together, which I think is really nice. You know, you could do night sea with the floral as well. Even there's touches of blue in there.
You could do it. And if you wanted something that's kind of dark and neutral but not quite navy, I think night sea is a really good color for that. Speaking of navy, we do have that beautiful rib knit that she made the original Cityscapes from. Super soft, medium weight, kind of perfect for this weather. And then I do love how she did the sheer sleeves.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's actually a navy and black stripe, which I think, wouldn't she say it? Is it a?
It's a stripe, and then it also has, here, let's
I'm
go to
going
the
back.
camera. It also has a really interesting diamond, which you may or may not be able to see. The photographs online, you can see the diamond shape a lot better, but yeah.
I think that's fun. So we do have both yardage of the rib, but then we also do have some cuts, some 5/8 yard cuts of that. If you're needing any ribbing for neck, neck bindings or sleeves or anything like that, we do have those cuts available.
Always nice to keep ribbing on. This beauty.
I love that.
Is pretty spectacular.
I've been trying to find an excuse to show it to everyone because it's so fantastic, and I was like, well, this is the day.
This is it.
This is it, because I love it.
It's got like this emerald green background, which is very bright and very lovely. But then it's kind of taken down with some black and white roses and some dark purple and eggplant, but you also get a little bit of pink. It is pretty spectacular. And I have to say, it's a viscose and it feels like heaven.
Right.
So soft and it's so light.
It's fantastic. Is this a rayon?
It is rayon.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's just so soft.
Yep. I just thought I'd double check.
Yeah.
I said that with such assurance. So I don't know. And then you paired it with a beautiful purple rib knit.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. A nice eggplant. I think that's a good pairing. You could also do black. You could do even like a charcoal gray or even a lighter heathered gray. I think would be nice. And there's even touches of the pink in there. So you could do pink.
And so this rib knit isn't a rib knit like we talk about for cuffs and collars. This is a beautiful bamboo knit that happens to have this rib texture in it. But it hangs in just the most beautiful way. It's got an incredible drape.
Right, we've used it for skirts, for dresses, for tops, crane streets. We've used it for a lot of different projects, and it's fantastic.
You have a whole outfit out of it.
I do. I have a Eureka and then a dress skirt.
It's pretty good.
Yes,
it's a good outfit. And then here is our sheer that we talked about earlier. And although I'm sure it's hard to see, actually I kind of love it over this polka dot.
I know when I did that, it wasn't intentional when I put it up on the wall, but I think it's really fun.
Yeah. We forget, I forget, I should say, about layering sheers over prints and really adding that touch of pizzazz, if you will.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
print itself is
can
a
see
really
that.
lovely, it makes me think of like the 1930s. I feel like it has a really kind of 30s vibe to it. It's just a simple white polka dot with navy stripes on a slightly brighter blue background.
And I think this would look good with the rib. It would look really good with the night sea.
It would look amazing with this guy.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that is like, you should be on a beach somewhere wearing that outfit. So lots of good fabrics. And did you tell them?
Here's the thing. So these kits, we talked about these earlier, and the different color combinations of pink and green and teal, black and white, and then the variety of greens there. So these are on sale this week for 40% off. And the class is also on sale for 15% off.
Yes.
So this is a really great deal. I'm going to bring this woven out because I think it's just fantastic. The thing I love about this kit is I like being, I'm throwing hangers. What I love about this kit is I love being able to see this shape here on the side. I think when you can like accentuate the different like unique shapes of a pattern, because some patterns are very simple, which I love, but I think when you can show off the unique parts of a pattern, I think why not go for it? And so this is the woven, one of the examples of the woven. And it just has a great color, a great drape. I like it.
And because you're using the poplin on this shape, you get to actually see not only the seam line shape, but you also get the outer shape. So instead of everything draping so much that you don't get the full shape of the garment, like it allows you to see that.
Right.
And I was going to say too that these are very bright kits. I mean, like that is a teal.
Right.
And I think some people might be concerned about like the three colors, but because the body is one color and you're not putting anything until the bottom, it's not as like too busy as you might think of it. So I think these are really fantastic. They're just fun.
Yeah. Might as well have a little fun with it.
Exactly. I'm going to go to the back and make sure we don't have any questions.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm just going to leave this up here. You guys can see the beauty.
Is the example Zane shirt the same scarlet fabric that is on the wall?
So the Zane that we have is actually a sweater knit. So it is a slightly different color, but it has the same feel. The same. I think the Zane would be a good pattern to use for that knit, for the knit we have here on the wall. So I think you could use that same pattern, get the same look, get the same color combination. I think it'd be really nice.
Let's see. Nobody can hear me, so that is classic me. Can you share the Instagram account that uses color blocking?
I will link it in the comments because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But it's really fun. I think she's out of, most of the ones I just fall in love with are out of Europe. She has a wardrobe that she will fill with different color combinations and different, or she'll do denim on denim. She did that one recently and I thought that was really fun. So I'll put the link in the comments.
What fabric is the blue jacket?
The blue, okay, so the Chicago. This is the Chicago jacket in this is a ponte knit. But I think it gives you a really good way to combine this fabric. I'm trying to just give you some other ways you can use this fabric. If you are making this tank, which is the Mix-It tank, you could pair it with the Chicago. Or you could pair it, you could do a little e-jacket shrug if you wanted to do that. And I think that would be great in the Night Sea cotton knit that we have on the wall. I think that would be really fun. So this is just another color, another type, another way you can wear that fabric.
Beth, the sheer fabric is on the sale page. I just posted a link, so you'll see that.
Okay.
Can we mix the jersey knit with a viscose on the Edgewater dress?
So one of these like prints with the knits on the wall, definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that'd be really fun. You could, yeah, this would be, you know, that rounded panel here. Or if you want it, you know, you could use this panel here. You wouldn't have to stick to the same panel, you know. I love the use of knit here in the sleeves and in through the main part of the garment just for ease. It just gives you a little bit more movement. But, you know, you could do the printed wovens on this panel. You could do it on the bottom panel here. You could do it on both. If you wanted to have print on the entire bottom, you could do that as well. I think either way.
Could you do a woven on the top and do a bias neckline?
You could do bias on the binding and do woven. There is a decent amount of room here. I prefer to use a knit up there because I just like that movement in through my shoulders and in through the arms. It's definitely designed for a knit up there, but I think you would just have to see if there was any modifications you had to make. But and we haven't done it, but you could try.
You can always try.
You can always try.
I'm coming back.
We don't need to be the first people to try certain things.
No,
so if there's an
please.
idea that you have, just try. That's
Let
what
us
we
know.
That's what we do.
Someone asked what I am wearing. Also, I took out my mic and I'm just putting it in front of my mouth, so hopefully that will help.
Right in front of your mouth.
Right in front of my mouth. This is a Florence dress that I've just basically taken the Florence shirt, and that has like 2 tucks. Tucks.
Right.
It's a longer shirt. It's got 2 tucks. I got rid of the tucks, lengthened it, but I did keep the kind of curved shape. And then I added little tabs on my arm and a little back belt.
Should we see the full length?
Oh, sure.
Let's see.
I'll go back. Can you see it?
Pan, yeah.
Pan down.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's a favorite.
There
Next
is
time I'd put pockets in it. I didn't put pockets in it, but I will next time.
the Stafford.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
for the Stafford.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a question. Do you think shortening the Edgewater dress would work?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't made the Edgewater dress yet because I'm just behind on things, but there are lengthen shorten lines, and you would just shorten it to where you feel it hits right for you. Like I would probably make it roughly as long as this dress for me. For a long dress, I usually stop it, and this is a weird marker. Like I don't have a certain measurement, but kind of where like your calf goes into your ankle, like your leg kind of bends in a little bit, and that is where I will do any long dress. It's my hem spot.
Let's see. There's a question about this dress, and I'm going to peek in at what Samantha did here. Yeah. So there's a question, if Samantha used pearl cotton to embellish the silk patches on Erin's dress, how was she able to sew through the silk? So she actually, I'm going to come around to the camera again, and Betsy can take a look. So she actually did the stitching, the white stitching, on the silk first. I'm going to kind of try and roll up my sleeve here. I don't know if you can see that. But so you don't see that stitching. So she did the stitching on the silk first, and then she attached it to the sleeve or to the garment.
Do you know what kind of silk she used?
It looks like a silk crepe.
Okay. Elaine said, and I assume she's talking about the Edgewater, but she said she shortened it in 3 places: the bottom, the torso, and then the lengthen line on the bottom half. So there are multiple ways to shorten that dress.
Right, and I think that's a good point to make, because a lot of patterns, because of the shape, you do have to lengthen or shorten it in multiple places. A good example actually is the Cityscapes. The original Cityscapes pattern that we had in print, We did shorten it in 3 places and then created the new digital pattern. So because it was very long before. The same thing, like the Picasso is another one that's like that. It has such a unique shape that sometimes you have to shorten it or lengthen it in multiple places in order to not put everything out of whack. So you can retain that, beautiful shape of the pattern.
And I will say, I have worn the Edgewater skirt, and I think it was just the extra small that we had, and it really fit me well in terms of length. I didn't wear it today because I wore the wrong shoes.
You wanted to wear your amazing
I wanted to wear my boots.
And
so I guess I don't know how that would transfer to the dress, but the extra small actually was a good length on me, so, of the skirt.
Okay, well, that's good to know for people that are your height.
Let's see, I don't have any other questions.
Okay, well, let's review what's on sale this week. So we have the Cityscapes and the Edgewater patterns. They are digital and they're on sale, 15% off this week. The kits that we talked about, the Edgewater kits, those are 40% off this week. So that's quite the deal. And then we do have one thing we didn't mention, but it's a great tutorial that I think would help you on all of these patterns. The Edgewater and on the Cityscapes is our Sewing with Knits tutorial. And one of the best things in that is how to sew the ready-to-wear neck binding, which is very useful. I feel like once you kind of do 3-4 neck bindings, you really get into it, you really get good at it, and it's a good thing to learn when you're making everything from knit dresses to knit tops. So, but it's how to create and perfect this ready-to-wear knit binding. So, and then just how you deal with knits in general. And so that's on sale this week for 15% off. And then the Edgewater skirt and the Edgewater dress classes that we did last year for So Confident, those individual classes are on sale for 15% off this week. And then the fabrics, all the fabrics that we showed you on the wall here, these are all 15% off as well. And then there is a black knit that is actually not on the wall that you could use for this dress or for the similar to what Samantha used on this dress, a bamboo jersey in black. That's on sale this week.
Do we have yardages for like that and the other 2-piece dress?
Yes. So if you're going to create these paneled dresses like this, I would get 2 yards of each. I would get 2 yards of the knit and 2 yards of the woven. Depending on your size and height and everything, I know that's going to vary a bit, but it would give you enough yardage in order to create either this paneled version or the one that even has a longer knit panel.
And our patterns, and I think we talked about this last week, someone mentioned, are kind of made for a body that's 5'6", 5'7". That's what they're drafted for, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. That's what we've got.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Yep. Have a great day.